The world's a better place because you are here to join us. My name is Matt Brown, and I'm the host of the Productive Conversations podcast. It's Tuesday, July 9th. It's been way too long. We are finished with our July 4th hiatus, and we are back for a month full of shows, and then we'll take a quick break in August. And then after that, just rolling through the rest of the year in NFL season. So a lot of good stuff, a lot of surprises, a lot of things planned. And we're ready to kick off a month of shows, the July shows right here, right now. Ryan and Jose with me this evening. What's up, guys?
How's it going?
What's up, guys?
What's up? Missed you guys. Feeling good. Trying some new. I got this hair bun going for the first time.
I see that.
You know, this is a good decision doing this. So just quick story. My hair's been as long as it's ever been, and I decided, it just popped in my head, man. I'm really gonna try this hair bun thing, right? So I got my first ever scrunchies. I first asked people at work, didn't have them. They told me to go to Five Below. I literally walked around the whole store. I did not know what to do. So I found the hair stuff, got like 12 of them for $2. And I went back to Kohl's, asked them to help me. And they pulled it off and they did this. So, and I actually did this my very last night in Jersey City 2 weeks ago when I said bye to my apartment there. And somebody took photos of how to do it and I just forgot. And I did reach out to the person on Insta to tell me how to do it. And yeah. And I knew this would work because two instances. One, I walk out of the break room and a very lovely looking person just gives me the eyes right away. I swear, not to self-indulge and be a bragger, but I've just got looks I haven't gotten in a few years. And then I posted on the story, plenty of likes, and we'll just say somebody from my past reached out for the first time that I haven't heard in months. Great to see you. Where have you been? So, so far so good there. And I'm going to need a lot of practice with it. But we're gonna try this out and see what happens with it.
It's better than my hair. That's what I'll say.
Any thoughts, Jose? On
at least you got here. So.
Yeah.
Better than Jose's hair as well. That's right.
Hey, Jose, yes. You rock that. You rock what you got here. You like it though, Jose?
It's cool.
Thank you, bro.
It's
I
different.
saw you wrote the like.
Yes.
Yes, it is something to get used to, but let's see what happens. I could just go back to whatever I was doing next episode too, but
could you imagine every episode different hairstyle?
But I like it so far. It feels good, and it's just a relief too because I never was used to hair just hitting my eyes so much. It literally got irritating and hurt.
I had hair like that for a while when I was younger.
So I was just like, I got to do this, and I'm happy with it. So let us now start this new era, hopefully. All right. But everyone also had a good 4th of July weekend and everything.
Yeah, no, it was good. Very hot here, but it was good.
Brutally hot here too. Jose, another happy birthday to you. A big birthday over the weekend.
Yeah, kind of just chilled. Hopefully next week I'm going to Six Flags. So
yeah,
fine.
And Ryan, next time you come back to Norwalk, man, you really have to have a drink with us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll have to like. The problem is I keep showing up for very specific things and only for like a day. So I have to try and find a time when I'm there for a couple of days and I'm not there like for a specific purpose. I feel like at this point I'm only in Norwalk on like business. I mean, I know it's family stuff mostly and not actually professional stuff, but like it just feels very business right now. Like, oh, I have this that I have to do, then this, then I have to take the train back or get in the car. So hopefully sometime this summer soon I'll be back and not have a bunch of stuff that I need to do, but we'll see.
Well, definitely keep us posted on that. So with that though, I was really getting antsy. I miss doing this, even though it was only 6 days, really. But I feel like we're really getting some good momentum and growing. So it's great to get back into it. And like I said, let's enjoy this month of July. We're halfway through the year. And it's time to rock and roll. Let us really start the second half of the year off right. And let's do some great work on this. And the first thing we are going to talk about, who arguably is the girl of the summer, Hawk Tuah girl. Guess what? ever since we spoke about Hawk Tuah girl, her cloud has only risen and risen. Let me make sure I just get this right. Her name is actually Haley Welch. She's 21 years old from Tennessee, working in a spring factory. Now she is getting endorsement deals. She signed with an agency, and it was actually announced that she will be starring in her own reality TV show soon, Hawk Tuah girl. And there's two things here on this. One, I actually saw her do a podcast, a Barstool podcast, and I was very impressed by her. She actually seems very down to earth, humble, very funny, very sweet. And for the various people who were literal overnight sensations, you definitely feel like a lot of them fall over themselves and that their 15 minutes of fame can rock away. But I don't know. I just feel like this girl's personality might actually extend that. But at the same time, what exactly do you do with the Hawk Tuah Girl show? And what do you call it? What do you call it? Do you really call it the Hawk Tuah Girl show on Hulu or something? Ryan, tell me your thoughts on Hawk Tuah Girl's next chapter of her fame, if anything. Or do you think it might not, maybe 15 minutes of fame really turns into 30 minutes of fame?
I mean, listen, obviously I saw the Barstool as well. Definitely very personable, seemed very likable. But I think we can go ahead and just call this Hawk Girl Summer. She's going to be famous till September, and then she's going to go away. I don't know when this show is planned to come out. I don't think it's coming out before September, and so frankly, I don't believe we see a single episode of the show. I don't think they'll ever air it. I think her clout will end well before the show's air date, and whoever they get to do it, Hulu or whoever's agreed to stream this, if someone's agreed to stream this, they can make a show without having anyone attached to actually, put it on. And if that's the case, I don't think anyone will. But I don't know. I can feel her slipping. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I can feel like, what is there? Listen, it was funny. She said something funny one time. That does not make her someone who should have a TV show. I think I'm funny more than that. And I don't think I deserve a TV show, to be clear. Like, this is not like, you need to be like good at something to have a TV show, I would say. And I know that there's plenty of examples of that not being the case in reality TV, but she has no famous friends that I know of anyway.
No,
she
fake
has
famous
Are you serious? Are you serious?
Yeah, what name her famous friend? What are you talking about? Am I serious?
Conor McGregor, like 2 days after she put it, followed her.
Followed her, but they don't know each other.
He probably DM'd the shit out of her. This is Conor McGregor. He probably did that.
I'd be sure, but they're not friends. He's not gonna be on her TV show.
You never know.
I do know. He's not gonna be on her TV show. I don't know. I just don't see what the show could be about, other than I guess her becoming famous. And then it's like a weird self-fulfilling cycle. Like
you only need a documentary of that,
right?
Not
the show is her. The show that is about her becoming famous, and they're using it to try and make her famous, and then it kind of ruins the premise of the show. So if that's the way they go, so I just don't see how this works. I don't see where this goes by September, by Labor Day. I think she'll be back at the local spring factory, with a crazy story about the summer she was the most famous person on the internet.
Ryan.
Right, Jose.
They just wasn't there a TikTok girl that was famous for dancing in Norwalk?
Yeah,
the D'Amelios.
But notice how you don't remember her name.
I noticed that she was hot as hell.
She's real young.
Yeah, she is. R. Kelly.
Careful now. Careful now.
We're gonna stay away from that one.
I'll say this. So like for the D'Amelios though, to give them some credit. My sister actually knew one of them, but anyway, they are good dancers, and I don't mean like good TikTok dancers. That's fine. Anyone can do TikTok dance. I mean, genuinely speaking, I've seen her perform actual dance pieces. I've seen video of her doing that, and she is quite talented at that. Now, that's obviously not something that most people can turn into superstardom. Well, you got like the Huff siblings, and that's pretty much it for like famous dancers, right? But there's a talent there. So if you're watching the D'Amelios, be like, oh, they're really good dancers. Like you can see the talent. And every time they did not dancing, it was bad. All right. I actually watched, I think it was Dixie, in that YouTube TV show back when YouTube was going to be TV, the Attaway General, or whatever that was called. And that was horrible. Just super bad. And I get it was supposed to be for like Gen Z, and maybe Gen Z, if you like that, then you're not allowed to comment on anything that's on TV ever again. I'll just put that out there. So like, yeah, they were good at something, and when they did that something, they made a lot of money, and then when they tried to do other things, it didn't work. This Tuah has not demonstrated any discernible skill. She was asked a question and answered it, and is now super famous.
She answered it correctly, didn't she? Though.
I mean, I get, yeah. So I guess if we're going by that logic, then what? Her ability,
her ability must be a lot better than someone dancing.
Well, I'm saying, so is that where this leads?
Remember, D'Amelio's had a show on Hulu that only lasted 2 years.
Well, 2 years is more than most people get. So again, I'm not slandering the D'Amelios. I know other people will do that. I'm not going to slander them. They did fine.
Failed. They failed. They were at Stu Leonard's this weekend.
No, I know. I listen.
Yeah, in Norwalk, Connecticut.
Yeah. I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, they were famous.
You gotta admit,
years.
that's kind of, no offense. That's the decline when you got Stu Leonard's.
Well, right. When you go from the Tonight Show to Stu Leonard's in the course of a year, that's a problem. Yeah, it's one thing if you've had a 20-year career and then by you're 80 years old and now you're at a local. Sure, that makes sense. If you were famous in the 60s and now in 2024 you're at Stu Leonard's, I get that. That's just life. But yeah, if 2 years ago you were on the Tonight Show and now you're at Stu Leonard's, then yeah, that's a big fall. But my point is, that big fall, they were still good at something. So what is this Hawk 2 girl gonna do? Because she's not good at anything other than presumably.
Listen, you're assuming she's probably great at other things.
She's not shown it yet.
And she said no OnlyFans. She's not doing OnlyFans. She said that.
Right, which is the only natural thing I can think of for someone who got famous talking about, what she was talking about. So I just don't see it. I don't see it personally.
You also just wonder at this point, and I would have to like literally talk to PR people, and I'd have to talk to agencies and whoever they're gonna shop the show to. What exactly is in your head? Like, okay, I got a great idea. We're gonna have Hawk Tuah girl, and the show is
So
yeah,
so now
that's like I just wonder what those meetings are like. Like, what is the agent? What is the representation saying?
Right, here's the pitch. Genuinely, if it's my client, and here's my pitch, going around. No, seriously, I'm saying every single streamer, everybody who is in an app right now is basically pulling their hair out, trying to figure out how to get. Like young Gen Z, Gen Alpha, I believe is right after them. How to get them? No, seriously, how to get them? That's like
I agree. I'm saying, that's what they're calling them now, right? Gen Alpha.
I think that's what's after Gen Z. But anyway, doesn't really matter. Gen Z in the group right after.
Yeah.
That's who people are looking for because they're on TikTok and they're on social medias just broadly, but TikTok is their main. I think at this point we can safely say their main source of entertainment and education. They're there, and so how do you get them to come over? You have to look at the kind of content that they are watching on these, on TikTok and on other socials, which is usually talking heads, right? And they're quick. So if I'm pitching almost a talk show or podcast-esque thing, but not a podcast. It's going to be filmed. Her as the host. So you're capitalizing on her internet, stardom as the host, bringing in other internet stars, other creators, to do funny skits, interviews, things like that. Basically, it'll be a talk show, like a la Ellen or, The Tonight Show or whatever. But it'll be shorter, focus more on the internet, and it'll be geared toward trying to bring these people who are very phone-based, social media-based, YouTube-based watchers to a streaming service like Hulu or Netflix or whatever. That would be the pitch. If I was trying to make this pitch, that's the only pitch I could think of. And that you want to do it, absolutely go do it. You just put my name real tiny in the producers section. I don't even need that much credit.
Well, I do have to go from one influencer to the other, but we'll ultimately see where this goes. But we have Sketch, right? Sketch is a big time. Sketch is a big time. What's it freaking called?
Twitch.
Sorry, we have Sketch, a big time Twitch influencer known as the Madden guy. You probably seen him wearing his Houston Texans gear. Announced the pick. Big star. People love him in the football world and all of that. But Sketch had some damning content of his get leaked to the public, where I guess that he was at one point a couple years ago a gay OnlyFans model. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but amongst his fame and growing, we know there are trolls out there that are simply out there to get people, ruin careers. They found the bait, they put it out there, and Sketch had no choice but to come out and say, yeah, that was him. But I commend him on being strong like that. And it is crazy to see all the various opinions of Sketch's past life catching up to him. But he seems strong and well, and I only hope that the kid, overcomes this. And he said that at the time he was in a bad period. We don't know the motive to make this type of content and stuff. But regardless, that was in the past. Now we have the future. But it's crazy how this is such a big story, don't you think?
It is. And I think some of it comes from, as a Madden streamer, right? So there's obviously some football overlap. And we know that I've had a contentious relationship with the football fandom. And I think that a lot of the negativity is coming from the fact that there's a lot of negative people in that fandom who are, I won't use a certain word, but you can guess the word that I would use. And so I would just say, for anyone who really truly is upset by it, like, think about why. Because really, the motive almost doesn't matter. Whether it was just a job, whether Sketch was truly, experimenting with both men and women, presumably, or whether there was no experimentation, Sketch was fully committed to, to men. Like, no matter what the real reason was, there's nothing inherently wrong with it. We know OnlyFans creators. We've talked to OnlyFans creators. We are all friends with OnlyFans creators. So it's a job. It's definitely a job that comes with a lot of publicity, I suppose. A lot of people looking at you at your most intimate, but it's just a job. And the idea that people would have a problem with this person's job or how that would somehow disqualify them from making video game content is just bizarre to me. And it says more about you, the person upset, than it does about anybody else.
Was he already out or he's not,
he's not come out. He's
at
this point not said that he is into men. He simply said that the video is him, or the content that's been leaked. There's videos and images, and there are male partners in there, and he's admitted that he is in those videos. So I know some people will now presume that he is gay. I'm not going to make that presumption. He said that he was addicted. He said that he was to drugs at the time. He said that he was in a bad place mentally. You can presume that might be financially too. I can totally see it being just an experimentation thing, or frankly, just a thing for money. It was someone offered him a way to make some money, and he needed some money, and so that's how he got involved. So I'm not going to say for sure, oh, he is this or he is that. I don't know. I would say for anyone who's curious, he hasn't come out yet, so we should presume that his stated sexuality before this is unchanged.
Someone told me, I don't know if this is true, that he became born again after this, prayed the gay away, if you will. I don't know. That's just somebody texted
that's
me.
Possible too. I personally don't know how well that would work as a practical matter, but maybe.
Yeah, right.
For some people it does, right? Whether it works or whether it just creates a level of restraint and whatever. I don't know, but if he is currently happy as born again, then that's fine too.
Again, the source is Trust Me Bro from
yes. Yeah, most of our sources are Trust Me Bro and then like TMZ. So like that's what we have. We've got one thing on TMZ and then a bunch of people online or in our
Trust
DMs
me, bro.
messaging us about just whatever they feel. So this
Is
again,
this
this sucks for this kid.
is it really a big deal? Is it
It's
like I ain't
blowing up.
man? Who gives a crap what he does in the bedroom?
I agree.
I'd be
Yeah.
more embarrassed watching a grown man playing a dying game than worry about that.
The
Man,
Madden
people.
content is actually the
Yeah.
problem you have.
Who the hell watch some grown man play video games, especially Madden? Who the hell be like
I
I
never
get
Madden is
got
it
a,
the. I never got
Madden is
the.
a
10
tough
years
one.
ago.
Yeah, Madden's a tough
10,
one. I agree.
10 years ago, I'd be like, all right, I get it. Everybody's waiting a midnight, but y'all grown men, there's girls. Hope these guys, whoever watching this crap, there's girls in the bars right now, and y'all watching some grown man playing Madden. Jesus Christ, what is this world coming
Yeah,
to?
Madden is definitely not a game that I would expect a lot of online content from. So I am surprised at how famous this person actually is. He's quite famous. Sketches. So
Wow.
yeah, that was actually to be totally truthful. That was the most surprising thing I learned about all of this.
Yeah.
Is how
No,
famous
he's
he
like
got playing Madden.
very, very big in the football world, and
Yeah, huge.
I've mentioned him before during my NFL coverage, but that's just always he's just like the NFL. He is the Madden kid, and
Well, he's
not kid.
probably the
He's
only
very
one that
young, but
plays it, huh?
young adult.
That's
I
true. He
know
probably cornered the
a lot of
market.
people play. I mean, there's always Madden streamers, but and then we have NCAA football dropping at the end of this month. That's gonna be huge.
That's true. That'll be big because people, a lot of times people will watch these stuff. Just they won't be like consistently following, but they'll watch it before they get a game
Mm-hmm.
to
Or they
determine
watch it the first week.
right to determine if they want the game or if they know they want the game, but they just can't afford it yet to like get
Yeah.
themselves hyped for the game. So I could see that. And then obviously certain games have large followings because they're very dynamic and you can do a lot with them, like Minecraft or whatever. But Madden is not one of those games, so I was surprised at how many people are regular listeners. But you know what? Good for him, and I hope. I mean, I don't know that you'll hear this or not, but I'm sure that even if he doesn't hear this specific one, he's heard this sentiment a bunch, and I hope we amplify the sentiment that it does not matter his past. Everyone has a past. What matters is your future. And if he's happy and he's doing what he loves now, then he should keep striving to do that and block out the rest.
Couldn't say
I
it any
agree.
better. Good work, Ryan, on that. Now we do have to talk about something, and we are going to go wrestling on this one. But it was a legitimate thing to note. But it was announced during WWE's Money in the Bank Premium Live event this past weekend. We had the 16-time world champion John Cena come out to officially announce his retirement from the WWE and kicking off his retirement tour in 2025. And if everything goes to plan, barring injury or anything else that gets in the way, he will wrestle from January 2025, 30 to 40 events to December 2025, and then call it an in-ring career. And beyond everything, whether you're a wrestling fan or not, if you literally have to be living under a rock if you've not heard of John Cena. He was wrestling for a solid decade and a half. And beyond that, and obviously being, one of the greatest to ever do it, if not the greatest, and he can really make a push for that argument.
Oof.
Oh, he can't. And continue.
Oof.
We'll save this. We'll save that for later, Jose. But I mean, you could add if you want to add that to
Go ahead.
this
Go
segment.
ahead.
But talk about John Cena, though, the same person who has the most ever Make-A-Wish Foundation wishes come true, for a guy who's a legitimate movie star right now and TV star, and just somebody who's a pop culture icon. I think everybody really took note of John Cena announcing that he's leaving the thing that made him this cultural icon.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was messaging Matt and Jose, I believe, during the entire segment because I noticed very quickly that this was probably going to be a retirement segment. He didn't keep it secret. His merchandise, basically screamed it. But yeah, no, this is I'm a lot because for Matt and my generation of fans specifically, and all three of us are fans, but like John Cena is professional wrestling, and that's just true. Like obviously there are other people, Jose will probably allude to this, that were big stars, maybe even bigger stars than there at the time. Although I would say that Matt is right. John Cena is one of the biggest celebrities, period. So to try and make a claim that someone else is bigger, minus again maybe The Rock, like there's a really hard. I think you'd have a hard time. Yeah, well, The Rock is a bigger name in Hollywood than John Cena, yes, but other than that, there's no one else in wrestling who has eclipsed either of them, in terms of mainstream popularity, because of their acting career. But beyond that, like as a wrestling fan, he was the entire thing. They had John Cena and whoever was fighting John Cena, pretty much our entire childhood. That was how the WWE booked their shows. They said, "All right, we've got John Cena, the champion, fighting against someone who is fighting John Cena," and I mean, made a bunch of stars that way. Edge, who is not a name that a lot of people will know, but or Adam Copeland now, also does some acting, but not again to the same extent. His start was with Cena. Randy Orton, you could argue, got hit real big with John Cena. Like, there's just a lot. CM Punk, one of the biggest names in wrestling, you could argue became that because of his feud with John Cena. Like, John Cena was a very influential figure in WWE for, our segment of fans. So very sad to see him retire, but obviously he's earned it. He could have just come out and said, "I'm done," and never done it again. So the fact he's doing like 50 dates and going from helping to launch the Netflix era, as they're calling it, the big WrestleMania, probably even bigger than last year's, which will be hard to do, but you can tell they're trying to make it the Vegas Mania, the biggest one ever. He's going to be part of that. Stuff like that. So again, all very good stuff. Glad that he's going to be around more to do that. Sad to never see him go, though.
Yeah, you'll be missed. And simple as that, John Cena is a special person and somebody who you can legitimately look up to. And thank you for the memories, Cena. And I will look forward to this last ride, if you will, and seeing what he does with his character and as a wrestler. And Jose, 5 minutes. There you go.
Y'all people are hawk tuning the crap out of John Cena right now. He's not even.
You got 4 minutes. No,
he's top 5. He's top 5. I mean, I can name 3 bigger.
I don't think you can. I think you'll say 3 people, but you won't be right.
Worldwide, Rock, Hogan, and Flair off the rip, and I hate Flair, and I'll give people know Flair more.
Listen, Flair is the baby boomers guy.
Oh my God!
You go to a Gen Z doesn't know who Ric Flair is. I think they probably heard of Hulk Hogan.
Are you serious? He's on every rap song. Just because they
didn't know who he was.
They do have Ric Flair drip. They'll know,
but they didn't know who he was, though.
They know who Flair is. Everybody knows who Hogan is.
Hogan, I'll give you.
You could say Rick Roll. Nobody knows who Rick Roll is, but that was still a thing.
Flair Rick Ashley is more bigger than John Cena. John Cena did a couple of freaking straight to DVD movies.
What are you talking about?
John Cena had bunch of straight to DVD movies.
Peacemaker. John Cena's the Peacemaker. No, you're wrong. He was in Suicide Squad. No, you're
Fast
wrong.
Fast 5.
Okay, can I say this? Who the hell watches Peacemaker?
Everyone.
No, not everyone.
Yes, everyone.
See, nobody even has HBO Max, so I know it's not everybody. that freaking platform is dying. That platform is dying.
It's literally the last gasp for quality television.
Last time I checked, wasn't Warner Brothers just was sold today?
What?
Was Warner Brothers sold? Paramount was sold today.
Was it really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Damn, I missed that. I gotta look at that.
Enough.
Paramount was sold today.
What the Sky did?
It's different. What do you mean close enough? They're not the same.
Cena, I gave him number 4, people.
But you're wrong. You gave him 3.
Ric Flair was known in the 90s, 80s, 70s, early 2000s, the mid 2000s, and now.
He's not
in that span, and you're giving me John Cena from 2000.
Nobody watched his last match. He almost died, and nobody watched it.
Exactly.
They tried to kill him, and no one watched. No, the honest truth is that John Cena with The Rock being the only exception. So John Cena, I'll say this, is probably a better actor than The Rock. And Dave Bautista is actually a better actor
my
than
He's
both.
the one. The Batista's the one for wrestling
Batista's
actors.
like an actually really good actor. But
he's probably the most critically acclaimed.
Yes, but we won't even go there because that's a little subjective. Best is whatever. But fame-wise, The Rock is absolutely the most famous wrestler ever. And I don't know
maybe
how...
even entertainer ever.
Yeah, exactly. Most celebrities are not as famous as The Rock. I don't know how you can possibly argue that Cena, like any argument that doesn't have Cena as close second. I mean, if you could come up with someone like Hogan was in a time period, the 80s, it was very different. So if you want to have a little bit of an argue about Cena and Hogan at number 2, I would let you do that. I would let you have that argument, even though I believe it's Cena.
Is number 2.
Because I would let you have the argument, but
because I'll tell you this right now, I'm going to that convention in Manhattan with all the
Fanatics Fest.
Yes, and Hulk Hogan.
He's not even gonna be there.
It's there Saturday, and he's probably the 5th most expensive guy there.
Yeah, but he just got fired. He just fired that woman, so he's not even gonna be there. He's gonna be in an ugly story. He's gonna be in a courtroom. We'll talk about that maybe on Thursday.
Well,
we'll get more details.
I didn't hear about that.
We'll talk about that on Thursday. We're still pending details, but Hulk Hogan's not even going to show up. He's going to be in a courtroom for wrongful termination because he's a piece of crap. So, frankly, no. John Cena is number 2. We can argue because the 80s were a very culturally relevant time that Hogan might be number 2. In no world is Ric Flair number 2 or 3. He's 4th on that list of 4.
His Time Is Now. You could just go The Time Is Now as an iconic song in this book.
Yes! There's people, athletes who come out to that and have never watched wrestling before.
Wait, can I say
know that song? The
best John Cena fact to help prove his immortality, he is the only music artist to ever go platinum and never release have his debut album go platinum and never release music again.
That's right. Because it was just the theme song. It's the one song. I mean, apparently
there is a whole album to that, but
yeah.
You're right. That his one song literally made him go platinum. By the way, the song John Cena song Right Now is one of the most underrated songs maybe ever. I love that song Right Now.
I will say that when it's all said and done, I hope.
And what about obviously the John Cena "You Can't See Me" memes?
Yes,
people refer to that all the time. And the prank phone call. I'm gonna play this shit right now.
Yes. Well, while Matt's pulling that up, I hope to end this conversation once and for all into the future, the WWE takes just a couple of those 50 appearances that John Cena has scheduled and gets him one last.
This is iconic. Everybody knows when you hear those notes. It's a done deal. All right, don't mean to interrupt.
I was just going to say that he's got 50-something dates with WWE. I hope they do the right thing and give him the World Heavyweight Championship for a couple of those dates.
Are you serious?
Because he needs to beat Flair so we can end this conversation forever. He's tied with Flair for championships. We got to surpass Ric Flair, make him the most winning champion of all time. And that will
be a big story, too.
It would be a huge story. And we'll simply put to bed all this nonsense about whether or not Ric Flair is bigger than John Cena. The industry wouldn't exist without Ric Flair. That's true. John Cena's entire career, as with every wrestler currently, owes a massive debt to Ric Flair. As fans, we all owe a massive debt to Ric Flair. He was one of the most charismatic and popular stars of his era. He just cannot hold a candle in terms of global name recognition to John Cena or The Rock. It's simply not possible.
Final thoughts, Jose, before we move on.
Y'all on drugs. Whatever y'all on. I totally get it. You guys are freaking babies. And early 2000s, you're all up on John Cena and his ruthless aggression era. I get it.
That's right.
I totally
ruthless
get
aggression. You just got crushed by some ruthless aggression.
Y'all just missed the best era in wrestling history just by a few years. So
That's get right it. Now, the Renaissance era.
It's definitely not. Money-wise, maybe. But
definitely money-wise. They've never made this much money before.
Well, thanks to inflation, but go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, and oil money, yes. Between the two, they got a pretty good deal going.
Give you that.
Why don't we talk about another athlete, though? We got Bronny James, who made his NBA Summer League debut, And ESPN continues to show their bias and obsession with Bronny James, putting him on the front page of their website on Saturday. And in a summer league debut against the Kings, rookies and first year players. Bronny James in his summer league debut scored 4 points, 2 from 9 from the field, 0 for 3 in 3-pointers, and played over 22 minutes. So that's actually a big chunk. You see corny stuff like when he got blocked for a dunk. They actually made a TikTok. Imagine if he dunked that. And like, I really, it's funny. ESPN just knows we don't like them. We like to criticize Bronny James, and they're really doing this for people like us to make silly content to prove how just this. I wanted to use a much harsher word, but for the sake of algorithm reasons, I won't. But it rhymes with Ick Rider. And it's hilarious. You might as well call ESPN the LeBron Sports Network at this point. Hilarious. I mean, wow. And it's just to keep on going. And if he actually makes the Lakers roster, if he makes the 12-man rotation, that'll be maybe one of the few times early season NBA might actually take a headline from the NFL for a day. Like, it's hilarious.
He's definitely doing that, by the way.
But, yeah, exactly. I mean, so what
I told you when they drafted him that they wouldn't have drafted him if they weren't going to put him on the full roster. Yeah, 4 points is not a heck of a lot of points for 22 minutes.
2.
Yeah,
2 baskets.
That's not great. Now there's a way to make that the front page of your website, but not the way they did it. Like, they were like, I forget the actual headline, but it was something.
I can even pull it up really quick.
Yeah, you should pull it up. It was very clearly a positive story about the guy who scored 4 points in 22 minutes in the summer league to a loss, by the way. They did not beat the Kings. The Kings won the game. So
I have it right here, and we will give credit to Awful Announcing for this one. Big fans of them. So you guys see? Yeah. Look at this right here.
Yep. Bronny drives and drains his first summer league bucket as Lakers fall to Kings. So basically, he made a bucket, and they made that the fact that he scored the headline there. And again, breaking down Bronny's performance. Obviously, that's not very long. He only had 2 baskets. But yeah, so I would say that to me is the bigger problem. Not that they went with him as the opening story, because he's a huge name. He's the son of the, arguably one of, if not the best basketball player ever. But it wasn't a good game. So you got to say that. Otherwise, why is it like, that's the only reason that should be the front page, is if you admit, like, wow, those genes didn't kick in the same way, because that wasn't particularly, a particularly good game. So, and I'm sure we have fans will be mad at us because we never played basketball before, and they can grow up and let us know what they're actually mad about.
Oh, I don't go in it. For those who care that much, shut the fuck up. That's all I have to say.
We welcome anyone to actually,
I mean,
come on
fine.
and tell
Obviously,
us what they feel.
No, you're right.
Anyone can come on.
Obviously, all of these players are 50 times better than us.
Yes,
but it's just, we're just pointing out that, like,
that was a dumb headline.
This is silly. Yeah, exactly. That's all I'm saying there. Jose.
LeBron James is the reason why the Lakers are trash and nobody wants to go to the Lakers. For the next 2 years, y'all Laker fans, y'all down toast. They couldn't get a land a free agent this season. They're not going to land a free agent next season. They're done. And if Bronny does make it to the NBA, he
is.
Then, what are you freaking? The West is doing way better. Got a lot stronger. The season's a wash.
And all they want is the shot of the two of them passing the ball to one another. He's going to throw an alley-oop to Dad, and that's going to be the front page story. Even if they lose by 100, that'll be the front page story for the next 3 days.
on ESPN and Bleacher
Yes,
Report
on ESPN,
and Complex Sports. Those the mainstream ones.
The big ones. The other, in fairness, let's just call a spade. The alternate ones will clown it.
Yeah, right.
But
like
honestly,
awful announcing, which is great at doing that.
But honestly, if LeBron drains, 80 and, Bronny's got 40 assists to his dad, they'll still clown him. So it's the same thing. Like, no offense, Matt. I know you like them, but there's the haters and then there's the, the riders. We'll call them haters and riders. The riders are going to ride. The haters
the Brian
are hate.
Windhorses of the league.
And it won't matter what anybody does.
I don't blame Windhorse.
He has no career without LeBron. No
exactly.
offense.
So you can't. Well, now he has a career now.
Yeah,
but before that,
but he owes him. He's got to say, "I love Bronny James," but while he's texting his friends, man, this is so freaking annoying.
Hey, LeBron will only be there a couple more years, and then everybody can say what they feel.
I just want him gone and be done with it. Like, I'm over. Like, this is it. Like, you're not, Lakers hasn't done anything except you won the title in the bubble, which I really don't count it. But for y'all Lakers fans, sure, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
But ever since you joined the Lakers, what has he freaking done? You have AD top 5. Yeah, but I don't count that. I was in the bubble during the pandemic bullcrap.
I would say title's a title. I think you got to count it. But
no,
the non-pandemic, he made the Western Conference Finals once against Phoenix and lost.
Okay,
and that's it. No, I'm saying I agree with you. He hasn't done much, and despite it being 6
have the star power. If you really think about it, like when it was in Cleveland, everybody wanted to join. Everybody would take a mid-level contract to join them. Bare minimum. They didn't give a crap. Now you can't even pay someone to go to LA to deal with that shit.
Right, because he's in charge of everything. It's his little fiefdom.
It's easier to hire his buddy JJ Redick to take over.
You know what I really wish? Like Hard Knocks. I wish they had an NBA version and did the Lakers because that's got to be a shit show.
LeBron would never allow that.
LeBron, his kid, JJ Redick as coach, AD looking like you about to trade this dude by next year. With that whole crew,
they never allow it, or he never. I know they
specifically. Mostly, yeah, of course. But
I actually want to show you guys something too. It's also it is our next story. It's a perfect transition, actually, and it's somebody. It is an up and coming basketball player who legitimately deserves his flowers. So there's a kid named Cooper Flagg. He is a 5-star recruit, and he is going to Duke next year. And he has a lot of what?
I was gonna guess Duke.
Yeah, and he's getting a lot of attention, and he's legitimately can ball. And so we know the Summer Olympics are coming up, and Team USA is beginning their training camp, and they're bringing some of the USA U18 team, right, to practice with them. And let me just show you what this guy can do. And he might finally be a legitimate, he's definitely going to be the biggest name in college basketball next year. And look at this kid. Look at what he can pull off. Cooper. So we have right here, and he's 17 years old. Look at this right here. Anthony Davis right here. Whoop!
A lot going on there.
Who's right over him? We have him go against Drew Holiday. Like nothing. This guy can ball.
Behind the arc.
Over AD once again. Now that's a player you could respect. Cooper Flagg, you got to watch out for him. He's going to be something big.
I mean, yeah, that was impressive. I will say, to be clear, I actually do like LeBron James, but I digress. Yeah, no, that was impressive. In terms of being like 17, like those are not. I mean, they're not nobodies either. Like it's the one thing, yes, how you could score over an NBA player, right? Like Bronny James, but these are like they're not that. They're like real, legit. Like they're the best they're who we're sending to the Olympics, right? So
yeah,
like they're very good. They're the
best. They're the best Americans.
Yeah, exactly. They're the best America has.
I wouldn't say they're the best NBA players, but they're the best Americans.
No, yeah. Well, there are some NBA players who are not American
like
and they play for
top
teams.
top 2 are European.
Right. Yes. No. Yes. To be clear, there are very good NBA players who are not Americans, and they're not on Team USA. I'm just saying that by and large, Team USA takes the best available players that are American and puts them on Team USA. And so this kid was scoring on them, and that's, I would say, very impressive. Or I guess American players are really bad. We have a bit of a European, a British, not British, but like a European invasion in basketball right now. There's a lot of Europeans who are quite talented, but I don't know. That's just my thoughts.
And you have a top player who's Canadian as well. But I mean, just the point of the matter is just these guys are balling.
Canadian.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is a Canadian.
Oh well, he's all right.
I mean, he's more than all right. He's all NBA first team. But anyways, like this guy just shot over a NBA Defensive Player of the Year. Like it was nothing. Not only with AD, but with Drew Holiday. And I mean, this is going to be fun to see. Like, that's somebody who ESPN needs to wick ride over, not Bronny James. But we obviously know why.
We can do both.
True, but we're doing it right now. We're doing it, not ESPN. Both of them?
Yeah, that's right. Everyone can get a little.
Oh, man. Cooper Flagg. I'm very excited to see what this guy's about to do.
Well, I can't like Cooper because he's big. If he went to UConn, maybe, but
I mean, we'll see. Duke's apparently really cooking something up, but he will definitely be the biggest name in college basketball next season.
Was Duke good last season? Duke wasn't good that last season, weren't they?
Early exit in the tournament this year, so they're still building. Remember, they have a new coach now. I mean, well, a couple years now. But coach, no, he played that's a North Carolina's coach. I should know his name, but it's not Coach K, obviously. Okay. 1 second, John Shayer.
Okay.
Yeah. They got Cooper Flagg though. Cooper Flagg. Watch out for Cooper Flagg at the end of the day. All right, next story. We'll take a 180. We'll switch it up from the sports and wrestling and the streamers and the Hawk Tuah girls. And now we're going to go to with music on this one. Ice Spice. We all love Ice Spice. But is Ice Spice getting tired of her own shtick, if you will? So I have a clip here that's gone viral. And I don't know. Maybe Ice Spice is needs to switch it up with this little 8-second clip about to show you at 10 million views. So here it is. So she's obviously known for her dancing, her twerking, if you will. And she looks very not happy twerking here. Is she bored? Is she ready to switch it up? And I love Ice Spice, and her music has legitimately grown on me. But I don't know. Maybe she wants to be known beyond her twerking, and her looking upset while twerking, it shows that she wants some things changed. Do you agree with me, or am I bugging?
You got all that off that 2-second clip?
I mean, maybe she doesn't look happy twerking anymore. I don't know. That's why I'm asking the question.
I'm not even lying. Like, girls look like that mean mugging face when they're twerking the dance floor on me. I mean, they seem like they enjoy
So you're telling me girls who dance with you look sad?
They still look sad, or they're pissed, or they're trying to grind, like they're trying to put a hole in my pants. Same thing. Come on.
I mean, so I'll say, man, I don't know if Ice Spice is tired of her shtick. I certainly am.
Oh, come on, Ryan.
I don't mind the twerking, to be honest with you. I don't like any of her songs, though. Like, not a single one. And part of it, frankly, and this is going to be my, old married guy corner for just a second. Place me in old married guy corner. I don't like the names of the songs. I just don't. I don't like them. They're a little bit too crass for me. But anyway, I've listened to them. I've tried to give them a chance, even despite their name, and I'm still not a huge fan.
With songs like Think You the Shit or Boy's a Liar.
Well, Boy's a Liar is not a bad one, but there's a couple, yeah. There's a couple of bathroom ones. But I don't know. I don't think the twerking thing is gonna be. I think part of it might be that there's been like a rash of people now who are doing that too. right? What's her name from NXT? We all know, and I don't remember her name because I don't pay attention to these things. But she was on wrestling and twerked a bunch. Jose, I know you know.
I really don't.
She's a rapper, and she was on NXT.
Rapper? Oh, Red Velvet, red something, right?
Something red. 2 D's, I believe.
I have no idea you're talking
Is
about.
Sexy
She was
Red
in
a
it.
thing?
Sexy Red. Yes.
Oh,
yes, yes.
Okay.
oh wait, she's not a wrestler. Sexy
No, she
Red
was
is
on
Sexy
NXT.
Red.
No,
Oh yeah,
she was on NXT. Yeah, that's what
Oh,
I know.
missed
I
that
know she's
part.
not a wrestler. Yeah,
Sexy
she
Red.
just was on.
If you
That's
see
what
me,
I know
then you're
her
trying
from.
to say what's up. Ski.
Yes, that's right. And so and but like she does the twerk thing, and I think there's a few others like who are mostly known for like the dancing, and so maybe Ice Spice is like I need to differentiate myself now because there's too many people in this. It's a limited space, and there's too many people in here, and now it's a lot of competition. So maybe she's contemplating what her next move is, Matt. I agree with you.
I hope she's happy. That's all I hope. I hope Ice
Yeah,
Spice
she
is
didn't
at
look
peace.
happy, so I do hope.
You realize that crowd, like in that 2-second, that was a packed crowd. She's getting paid after that little 2-second twerk, and you think in your mind that she's upset. Maybe she just focused.
Focus. This is part of the.
I gotta get this right.
In a movie or TV show, when the character is tired of the thing that makes them popular, it happens all the time, and she just might be, ready for something different. Maybe she'll sing opera, or
I don't think that'll
maybe
happen.
she will go more pop. I don't know. She wants to be known as besides just the twerk girl who the huge star who only twerks. She's more than that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll never know because we're not her, but I could see that. Yeah, that's the thing that has happened to other artists as well. They've wanted to change genres or they've wanted to try something new. Like that happens all the time.
I'm sure Tuah will get tired of people saying Tuah to her all the time.
Yeah, unfortunately for her, we've already discussed whether or not she has any other abilities, but presumably Ice Spice could sit down and write a, maybe a more serious rap song, right? More serious hip hop, talk about issues.
Didn't she do a song with Taylor Swift?
Yeah, she did.
Okay. I mean, she tried that, been there and done that, and she got back on that dance for the twerk.
Oh, but she didn't try, what's it called? Speaking her mind. So like
she would speak her mind. That's not what we liked her for. Just shut up and twerk and call it a day.
Well, but we don't know. Maybe she doesn't want her to shut up and twerk.
Well, I guess you don't want to get paid either. So
we love it when Kendrick writes about serious things. Maybe Ice Spice does too.
Can I ask you a question? Would you go see Ice Spice talk about serious things, or would you like to see Ice Spice twerk?
Jose, I want this to be made clear. We can even make this a clip. I would not see Ice Spice do anything.
Oh, Jesus.
I would have absolutely no business at the Ice Spice concert or at the Ice Spice lecture or at the Ice Spice, Dunkin' Donuts commemorative cup signing. There would never be a time where myself and Ice Spice should be in the same room. One of us is in the wrong space because I am not the Ice Spice type. The twerking thing is fine. I don't mind it, actually, but I'm not that impressed by it. And I can't do it, but I'm not that impressed by it. The songs to me they're dance songs, right? I would say that that's a fair Ice Spice.
She raps too, Matt. Like raps.
No, I know, but like her songs got a dance beat, most of them, right?
Yeah, they're club music.
Yeah, I'm not like a big dancing guy, so it's not really for me. I'm not, I know who it is, but they're not really for me. So I would say that, hey, you know what? Maybe the change brings her and I closer. Maybe it'll be something that I really enjoy.
I'm not a dancing guy either, but I love to see twerking. So that's what I'm there for. I'm not here to listen to her music. I'm not listening to hear her thoughts. Just twerk and call it a day.
And you can't think why an artist might really dislike hearing that. And some don't. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe Sexy Red is like, I don't care. You stare at what you want as long as you're paying me. That's possible.
Red.
Hands on your knees. Hands on your
Red
knees.
is hood as hell. She's the hood version of Ice Spice.
Just making. I know two women who twerk, ever, and I've named both of them. They are Ice Spice and Sexy Red. That is as much as I have.
I'm not. I don't have. I have the. I could prove. I could find it, but I found this clip I saved of a twerking class, and it was just. It was just
Twerking
hilarious.
class, like teaching how to twerk.
Yeah, this woman is just going like a sergeant out here. This hips, more hips, more hips. Maybe I'll play that when we have more other people another time. But it's just like, yeah, the twerking, man.
Well, I hope Sexy Red does what makes her happy. If it's twerking, great. If it's something else, even better.
Absolutely. So I'm about to play you a clip that's just, man, look at our society on this one.
Oh boy.
So I have the New York City subway where, anything goes on that subway. And let me just play you this clip of I don't even know what this is. Let me play you. Let me play you a clip from the New York City subway last week. Here we go. 15 seconds. Okay, so should I play that again? So what we have here for those listening, some guy was walking and he went to the floor and just screeched like he's some demon or monster or something. I'll play it one more time. See the person's back.
Hold on, Paul. Can you back up just a tiny bit, real quick?
Okay. To where?
Right here's fine. So, dude in the black jacket,
Right here.
Yeah, that's me on the subway every day. When this happens, that's me. Just look up. Just look up for like a little bit. Just say, all right, nothing too dangerous. Put my head back down. Back on Twitter. That's me every single day on the subway. I just wanted to point that out. I'm not on New York subway, but that's me every day. Just look up, like, all right, this seems mostly harmless. Then put my head back down on my phone I have big headphones too, like these, so it's very clear that I'm not listening. But anyway, sorry. Continue.
Just what are your thoughts when you see that?
Well, I mean, I got actually slack-jawed. I would have never guessed that that's what was about to happen. I thought he was gonna sing. Or maybe he's gonna hit somebody. Like, I didn't know where it was gonna go, but it definitely didn't expect. I don't. What even is that? Some sort of snake thing? I don't even know what you would call that.
Just a guy's lost it. He just made this.
But this is clearly content.
This is what people try to do to be Hawk Tuah girl.
Right. That's what I mean. Like, this was clearly not a person having a mental ill issue. This or whatever. This person was clearly trying to get likes and views and go viral. And that's really a problem. Guys, you have to be good at something. Or, and I'll even make the stipulation, you have to do it like hundreds of thousands of times. And sometimes, frankly, you have to do both. Sometimes you have to be both good at something and do it over and over again before people recognize you as being good at it. Like, you can't, like, this is not fame. This is not even infamy. This is ridicule. Everyone is talking about how stupid you are. You're not famous. You're stupid. And it's really sad because we don't know the difference. We're like, we've become a nation of spoiled baby boys. We just want everyone to pay attention to us. We don't care why. So we'll throw our hissy fits or we'll make a mess or whatever, as long as mommy pays attention to you for more than just a minute. And that's not okay. You got to be okay with just being a normal person for like a couple of weeks. You know, like this is too much. This is too much. Hawk Tuah, I give her a pass because frankly, someone walked up to her. That someone invited that response. She didn't plan it. She didn't wake up that day and say, I'm going to Hawk Tuah all over that thing and become a superstar. This guy did. No, let me finish. This guy did. He says, I'm going to walk onto the subway and I'm going to screech like a little banshee and wiggle around while everyone stares at me online. That was a thing he planned to do that day. And that's ridiculous and it's stupid. And we should not be afraid to say that it's both ridiculous and stupid.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to add besides just like, you get a life. There's screaming and screeching on the subway.
Hey, listen, people do watch it, so I guess, screw me, right? I'm wrong because there's people who probably thought that was hilarious because that's the second That's the second half. The first half of what's wrong is that people need everyone to pay attention. The second half of what's wrong is that we've started to equate just random and uncomfortable as funny.
This is our society. This is what we've turned to.
We've turned comedy into just feeling unsettled.
Jose,
that's comedy.
Anything to add?
This is why I don't take the subway. I just take a cab.
Yeah, I've done it all in New York, and even I don't even go on the subway anymore. I can't take it no more. I literally can't take it anymore there. But at the end of the day, I still have to wind up on there anyway, so I'm stuck there. So who am I to judge?
My subway experience hasn't gotten quite to that level.
I ain't gonna lie, it's a great Photoshop photo.
Oh God. I'm gonna end up on that freaking subway floor for social media, aren't I? That's what's gonna happen. It's gonna just be me wriggling around this man's body with productive conversations up at the top like a bear. I can already see the post to advertise this. That's what it's gonna be. We're gonna advertise it through that.
For the relationship talk of the day, I'm gonna give you an option too. We'll save more for later in the week. Do you want to do top 5 most annoying things a chronically single 28-year-old gets told, or anxiety attachment recovery? Which one do you want to do?
Wow, I'm not a 28-year-old single person, but I'm fine with either.
Do you care, Jose?
Anxiety.
You want to do anxiety attachment recovery?
Let's do anxiety. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So, do we know what anxiety attachment is? Well, I guess he'll explain it. I'll do that. Let's do anxiety attachment. Let's pull it up. So, I'm going to play you a clip of somebody explaining recovering from anxiety attachment here with a TikTok that has over... Wait, not that one. That was the actual one we're talking about. This is the one. But wait, did I not save the right clip? I'm sorry.
If not, then we'll just do the clip you have.
Yeah, it looks like
bit of a teaser for Thursday's episode when we cover anxiety attachment recovery.
Yes.
Okay. I apologize. No, I do have it here. I could pull it up. Let me see if this is
fine.
it.
We could do the 28-year-old.
Yeah, it's fine. Whichever one is most available. Let's just do that. We'll do that.
I got it here. Time. Here we have. Here we have. So this guy here is explaining how to overcome anxiety attachment, which I'm sure you could try figure out what he means by that. But let's watch this clip. Let's watch his explanation. Let's watch his new look on life and react to it that way. So here we go. Anxiety attachment recovery. And this is from Introverted Official.
When I date, the phrase I live by is not, if it's meant to happen, it'll happen. No. The phrase I live by is, if they want to be in my life, if they want this to work, they'll show me. I used to struggle with something called anxious attachment. And when I dated, I was anxious that the other person wasn't attached to me. My main concern was that the person I was dating would lose the spark quickly or wasn't interested at all. I kept finding myself in situations where people didn't want to text as much as me, or weren't as lovey-dovey as I was when we did text, or they didn't want to hang out as much as I wanted to hang out. And I used to take it personally. I used to say, okay, clearly this isn't the right person, they're just not into me. I used to have a lot of anxiety about losing that person. But because I've learned how to express my attraction in a healthy way, I can always say, the ball is in their court. I've shown them that I'm interested. I demonstrate that I'm attracted. But I've given them the ball, and it's their choice to do what they want with it. If they don't want to pick up the ball and score, that's up to them. However, if they rather ignore it and kick it around playfully, I'm going to pick it up and walk away with it. But the lesson here is that we can only control ourselves, right? So express yourself in a healthy way, do it with grace, give people a little bit of time to catch on, and if they don't, move on.
I think that's some solid advice for early talking stages, and I've definitely had that in the past. I've learned the older I get, the more times I do it, you just don't care anymore to help that anxious attachment. And only my time I've felt it similarly for what this guy said. Like, man, all these signs given to me, all this, that, and the other, but clearly this isn't going anywhere. So is it me or whatever? But then you can have a healthy attitude like this gentleman does and just say, well, I did everything I can. I've proven my point, and they'll let me know. That's a really great advice in terms of dating. I've learned they'll let you know. They'll let you know.
Jose, what do you think?
I think that's the most full of shit
Why?
I've ever heard. All right, first of all, you could tell he's like a stage 5 clinger. 2 is this: if you give the person the ball, you're healthy expressing yourself. You're a passionate person. He obviously is very in tune to his emotion, correct? That's why he's open to being this, want to text a lot, does more, and then he starts to feel like kind of rejected because he's not getting the same back. So he's the type that is like, if you met two people, two people, both of y'all in one end of the bridge, he meets you halfway, he expects you to meet you, give that same amount, right? But then he comes and says, I'll give you the ball. Now, if you want to play around with it, whatever, or he just takes it when he doesn't feel like he's getting back in return, right? Well, realistically, you should just let it play out its course. If obviously in the beginning stages, like he's doing right now, he's texting, he wants to hang out every 5 seconds. A lot of people might think that's too fast, too quick. A lot of people might be like, there's an issue with that. You're rushing. Some people want to take it slow. Some people, whatever. Like, you can kind of want to get to know the person first, but don't want to know everything all in one shot. But then 2 weeks down the road, you already know everything. Then it's like, what? Well, we're here. Like, you're just looking at each other now. So for him to be like, I'll just take my ball and go, is you're basically taking the issue. You don't want to be rejected. So you're willing to be the one, I'm going to walk away and make you feel like you end it. Now, when realistically, you should just let it play out. If it slowly goes away, if you're trying and communicating and it's not coming, eventually you're going to die out trying and you're going to slowly go away and both of you go your separate ways. But he's saying, I'm just taking my ball and I'm going to be the one ended. So he doesn't feel like he's been rejected. I get it. But it's not the most healthiest thing because in the back of his mind, probably when he's walking down the road, like a couple weeks later, and he's thinking about it, he's like, what the fuck? That is what he's not going to tell you on the video. That's why I say he's full of shit.
So I was going to say, the last bit, right, the last line of you can only control yourself. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think that's something that people don't always know. Like, you can't make someone want something they don't want. You can't make someone act the way they're not going to want to act. So I agree with that. Like, not worrying about how everybody else is acting around you, I think, is important for relationship building. All relationships too, not even just romantic ones, because you can't control other people. People are going to act how they're going to act, by and large. But I agree with you, Jose. I sounds a little bit like he's basically very, carefully saying, be ready to cut and run if you don't like what the other person is doing, which is fine. I mean, people date differently, right? If you want someone who's going to quickly catch your, what is that expression? Like, match your freak, right?
Yeah,
If you want someone if you want someone who's going to match your freak, then sure. When you find someone who's not, you say, all right, not for me. I need someone who's where I am right now. That's how I will be happy. And you have every right to pursue that, agenda, right? But if you're just kind of looking around to see who a good match will be, a good match is not always going to give you what you want. And I that's something, as someone who is married now, I think that's something that people who are dating don't pay attention to. Just because you don't get everything you want doesn't mean that's not your match. Doesn't mean that that's not a good fit. Sometimes that's the better fit. Sometimes you get more out of a relationship with somebody who is not giving you what you want, who is not acquiescing to your every whim. Like you don't need to be. I mean, it's a little entitled, frankly. And again, some people are somewhat entitled in love, and I think that that's valid, but it does kind of cut you off from some other opportunities. And like Jose said, I think what happens when you have that mentality is you end things before they can be ended, thus saving your own feelings, but making yourself much harder to connect with because you only have so much time to play with the ball before it gets picked up and walks away forever. So I that would be my caution. I agree with the sentiment of you can only control yourself. You have to be yourself. But my caution would be don't just because your relationship is not giving you everything you believe you deserve, right? Like I believe I am owed this, and this. How hard can this be? Like if you find yourself saying that, like how hard can it be to text me right now? Or like why can't we hang out on like if you find yourself saying that, just for a second, flip it and think, is it really them? Or is it me feeling a sense of entitlement about this? And if it's the second, if you're honest with yourself, you're like, this is a me thing. I want this. This is not everyone should do this. This is what I want. Then strongly consider going against type for a week. Say, all right, you know what? Obviously, I want to hang out twice a week, or I want a text within 30 minutes, but I'm not going to worry about it. Let's see that I'll respond when they respond, like they do to me. You know what I mean? Like, see how it goes. And I think a lot of people will find, and it may not be your soulmate, but will find that they have a wider net of people that they are compatible with than they realize. That would be my bit of advice based on that video.
Yeah, I think that both of you hit the nail on the head on this one. And definitely when you also if your strategy is clinging like that, that's stay away from that. But I think what caused somebody to feel this way is the dating culture. You probably feel like, again, as I mentioned, if things don't go perfectly on the first date or no momentum or no compatibility and understanding, then yeah, you do feel you'll get those anxious feelings. But then the point that best describes what Jose is saying is still see it play out. Even if you're likely going to be right in the situation and your gut feeling is going to be wind up true. And unfortunately, if your anxiousness will actually happen and you reverse manifest, if you will. But
that happens a lot.
I think it is hard to overcome those anxious feelings. But I think that's the point of getting distracted. Date as many people as you can at once in these beginning stages, and then then you'll obviously see which ones stick around, and then you pursue it from there. So I think great points from the both of you on this one, because they're both true.
I do have one thing to add. I truly believe that dude having that issue is because he has low self-esteem. I mean, realistically, if you truly like he has his way and he accepts that's his way of thinking, right? Then also has to kind of accept the other person. If their way of thinking is to go slower, he's obviously going super fast. It's an issue. Like, you know what I mean? He's very.
And maybe you guys have seen some of this, or maybe you guys have even done some of this at some point. But this is something I've noticed. I mean, I have other single friends, by the way. I know we made a joke that all my friends are married and we do pottery or whatever. That's obviously untrue. Yes, but a lot of people, like, kind of similar to what Jose was saying, is like you say like this is my speed and they have a different speed, and a lot of guys in particular I think go very fast as their speed. And I think guys in particular go fast for their speed, a lot of them.
Okay, I got a story for you.
I'm sure. Listen, I'm sure there are plenty of women who do, but my point is, I think some of it has to do with this idea that if you go fast enough, if you hit that breakneck speed, you can get to a point where you're unsackable, right? Like you can rush to the point where you're a fixture in this person's life and you don't got to worry about it anymore, right? You're on easy street. This person is in your life. This person is hook, line, and sinker. You guys are together. And you don't have to worry about rejection or ghosting or anything like that because you've skipped all that. You've gone so fast. Like entrapment doesn't work. You can't date by entrapment. You can't rush through those middle parts. You just can't do it. And if you try to do it, I think 9 times out of 10, you're basically manifesting a rejection because people can see what you're trying to do. No one is that slick. And so I would say that would be some other advice too. Is like you're never going to get to a level like you can't speed it up to the point where you're again unsackable. So don't try. Like even if you are, maybe go a little faster than other people do. Like just remember, think about why you're going faster. And if it's because you're trying to skip all the parts you're worried about and get to the part where you guys are, together forever, XOXO moving in, you can't skip to that point. It never works. Even when it looks like it works, it almost never ends up working.
Yeah. And my one question before we hear Jose's story, or one question, one comment. The question is, say you are balancing, trying to figure out if you're meeting somebody for the first time and you're really interested in them, and your idea of how to get to know each other are different. Should it be established, hey, just so you know, I'm not much of a texter. I'd rather get to know you more in person. I probably won't text you a lot, but that doesn't mean I'm not interested. I'm just living my life. All that matters in the text is we make the plans and we actually stick to them. Should that be established earlier on, or should that naturally take its course? And I ask that, so if you take the natural way of that, some people get it, some people don't. And sometimes those who don't wind up getting that anxious feelings because it feels like the culture, the dating app culture and the society tells you if you aren't in constant communication, then there is no interest.
See, I totally disagree with the culture because in the dating game, it's like it's vastly spread with different, like everybody's different. So it's not like everybody's in one group. So with the culture, it's different because you understand some people just sleep around, some people looking for relationships, some people whatever. So you kind of grasp when you're in the dating game, like everybody wants something different. You just need to figure out, like, go through it and figure out what they truly want and figure it
So
out.
should you ask the question right before? Hey, what
So
are you looking for?
that's the second question I ask when I meet a girl. When I'm online dating, I'm gonna ask you 2 questions. I'm gonna ask you one, why are you online dating? And then the second is, what are you looking for?
I think that's fair.
Put your intentions out there. Like we here to meet people. Like guys, for us guys, and Matt, well, obviously Ryan's not gonna do it, but Matt, if you were talking to a girl and you asked her, like, what are you looking for? If she said she was looking for a relationship, you're like, I bet we can see where it goes. And if she says, nah, I'm just trying to have fun, you know what I mean? Are you gonna say no to that too? That's a real question.
You're asking me a question?
Matt,
No,
yeah.
I'm not gonna say no to that. I'm open
So
for anything.
so for us guys, that question is way more important to ask them. It's you kind of understand what game we're playing. Are we playing chess or are we playing checkers? Because if we're playing, we understand what the goal is. If you want to have fun, we have fun. No bullshit to the side. I don't gotta sweat the bullshit. Like, let's have fun. You're interested in me, I'm interested in you. Let's just get the little stuff out the way and just kind of meet up and see how it flows. If you're looking for something real and like, all right, then you're getting to know. Now you're switching up your whole stance, and now you're gonna be like, let me get to know this person because I'm interested. Maybe I am looking for something. Whatever I go through. So those questions should have been asked in the beginning. Now, homeboy, and I don't think homeboy is cutting steps to get to whatever. I think homeboy is lonely and trying to fill a void that he has. Because obviously you can tell from the guy in the video, there's no way he's probably living by himself in the studio or with his mom or whatever. Not that just looking at the video. I'm assuming, obviously. But you can just tell he probably has lonely nights. So he is looking for someone that's just interested in him. So in his way is, let me overdo everything, give her love and attention, and maximize that to the 10th degree, not realizing that you're realistically just scaring this chick off. If
Well,
you
you're not
slow,
scaring. The thing is, you're not scaring everyone off, but you are scaring many people off. And that's kind of the point that I was making. It's like, if you want to be that selective, then be that selective. But that means, like Jose said, you might be in for some lonely nights because you got to find someone who matches you to a T right off rip. Someone who
Matches your
gives you
freak.
right. Someone who gives you everything you want right off rip. That doesn't have any. There's no challenging feature about them. And that's fine. It just means, again, you're going to be lonely a lot more of the time because there's only so many people like that. And that's for everything. It's not just for that one specific thing. There's some people, like, you could be go with the flow, right? Some people are go with the flow, and that's fine. They'll go and they'll just do whatever. And over time, but some people hate go with the flow. They'll be like, I don't want you to just flow. I want you to
Yeah.
talk to me about what it is we're going to do. Like, some people don't like go with the flow. So if you're like, if you're always laissez-faire, I am not going to do this. Like, I'm going to hang out. I'm here to have a good time, see where it goes. Always. I'm not going to do any proactive steps. That's going to make some people mad too. And so it's not just a this clinging thing. It's in all things. No matter what your style is, if you do one thing, then you're only going to attract one type of person. Whereas if you're willing to be open and meet people where they are actually, and not just say it, but like actually meet people where they are. So if someone is more proactive and you're interested, then you be proactive. If someone is like, listen, I'm not as proactive, I don't text right away, then you don't inundate their text messages. Like, if you actually meet people where they are, I think you'll find that the ones who challenge your convention are oftentimes even better partners because they allow you to do something that you weren't able to do before. Like, if you're always uptight and always type A and always go, 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 and you have a more relaxed partner, like, you're going to learn how to relax or you're going to lose your partner. And so you learn how to relax, and it helps. A lot of times it helps you. And then vice versa. If you're too relaxed, if you're too hands off, and you have someone in your life that's a little bit more, go, go, you learn to hustle just a
I,
bit.
I agree. I think if once you establish what both of you guys want is when you kind of can get there.
Well, yes,
Because
you
if
have to know what they
And then
yeah,
that's
want
the
and
big
then have to
question is,
decide
do
if
you
that's
but
what you want.
but in online dating, you don't unless you ask, you don't know because let's be honest with each other. Well, online dating, a lot of we do. Matt will tell you, I will tell you, we lie.
Everyone
Like we
lies.
say,
So,
everyone lies, so
yeah.
we don't truly know their intentions. They'll be like, "Yeah, I'm just seeing what out there, whatever." But we already know. They make you feel like when you're online dating, you're talking to. They make you feel like you're talking like you're the only one that they're talking to. When
Mhm.
realistically, there's probably five guys behind you. And
Right.
so
yeah,
that
we're
that
we're in
creeps up.
Fortnite
So
right here. We're all just
that
going in the bus and riding in. Then we have to
right, right,
go
right.
and we have to
But
shoot
that
each
dude,
other
but
to
you
get
also have
in.
to. So for guys like him, and this is why I'm telling you, the guys like him that overshoots, not realizing that girl he's probably talking to is probably talking to four other dudes.
Mhm.
Maybe in the back of your mind, if you realize that, then you kind of be like, well, maybe that's why she's not texting me right away. Maybe she's talking to Tim or Matt or Ryan or
Mhm.
whoever.
She's
So
talking
guess
to
what he's
Tip.
gonna do? He's gonna go take his ball and go home when you
But
just let
that's
it
yeah.
ride out.
Yeah.
Ultimately, online dating is unless you are 100% being like very secure of who you are and what you bring to the table, it is a mind fuck. Unless you are stable in knowing that whatever I meet this girl, if it happens, it continue the conversation, and if it doesn't, albeit like on to the next. But she comes back tomorrow, bet I'll continue the conversation like it never like we
That's
didn't
how
skip a
all
beat.
dating should be, though. I mean, not to critique, but
Right.
all dating should be that way. Like, you should never, even if you're not dating online, find yourself in the position where you're not comfortable and confident in who you are and what you bring to the table. Like, you know what I mean? I just, and I'm not saying like overconfident, braggadocious. Listen, I'm not any of those things. I think Jose and Matt can both attest to that. But like, I never once dating did I not know who I was supposed to be. Right? I knew who I was. I knew what that looked like. I knew, and frankly, I mean, I'm a pretty self-aware guy. I knew what strengths and weaknesses that came with, right? Like I knew what some of the pitfalls would be in dating, and I knew what some of the things I'd be good at in dating are, because I know myself. And I didn't then say, okay, I know myself. I need to find partners who match that. I just said, I know myself, going to introduce myself, and we'll see what happens. And not every person that I tried to date was compatible, but it is like you just got to be yourself. So I agree, Jose. Like you need that confidence in who you are is important, but I think it gets harmful in some ways to wrap it up in this online dating culture. This is an everything culture, and this is not even just dating. Like going into a job interview, you know what you know. You know
Yeah.
you know what you're good at. You know what you're not good at. You know what you say about the things you're not good at to try and hide it. You know what you say about the things you are good at to try and accentuate those. You just go in and you just got to be who you are, because you're not good. Like you're not good at anything else. Like I don't know if anyone has heard this. If you think you're really good at like playing around with expectations, you're not. No one is. Everyone by and large is exactly as you would expect them to be. And sometimes that's disappointing, sometimes it lives up to the hype, but almost everybody is exactly who you think they are, including you, dear listener. So just be you. Dating in all aspects of life, because it's the only thing you're good at. So you might as well do it. You know what I mean? Like, and just be comfortable with that. I don't know. That's my thought though. I
And
don't think it
then
has to be wrapped up in dating, like online.
I think that's fair. It even works with friendships and
Yeah.
anything. And they'll decide if they want to spend more time with you. If it's a romantic way, then you build on that. If it's a lustful way, then you do you
You do you.
you do you. Like I guess the when
You'll be
the
doing you.
two approaches when it comes to art, there's most likely there's two things. This is how I've approached it in my life. Ask somebody, what do you like? When it comes to the relationship, we go on the date, and if it goes well, then I'll say, in a relationship setting, if it goes well, then I don't know. I'm really thinking about it. I could really go either way. But I'm saying if we're going in the relationship, want to get to know you before we get intimate and have sex and hook up, then you say, hey, great. You set up the next date whenever that's supposed to be. And when she says, I'm looking for some fun, you still do that first date. Only the difference is, if it goes really well, you or her will insinuate, hey, you want to watch Nickelodeon, 90s Nickelodeon or something.
Uh-huh.
And then if she agrees, then you go and then
you
fuck each other's brains out.
You're always gonna get the first date. I mean,
Yeah.
the intention. So like when out, the first question I'll be like, hey, what are you looking for? And they'll tell me what it is. If it goes, I'm looking for a relationship, something long term. I'm looking for my true one or whatever. The
Yeah.
next question I would ask is like, all right, what type of guy are you interested in? And then they'll kind of describe what kind of guy they're looking at. And now I can tell you off the rip, if they come up with some bullshit, whatever answer, I'm gonna be like, I'm not that guy. I ain't gonna waste your time. I think you're beautiful and whatever. The guy you're looking for, a lot of
Somewhere
the
else.
traits you want is not in me. Now, 8 out of the 10 times, they'll still want to get to know me. I'm like, cool, bet. Like you can get to know me. But now it's like you already know that I established the guy you're looking for is not me.
Yeah.
So if you want to still get to know me, sure. And we can kind of see where it goes. But I already know it's probably not gonna go, but I'll see where it goes. I'll get on this boat with you. And if she's looking for fun, it's like, all right, you find out she's looking for fun, you kind of go like, what do you like to do for fun?
Yeah.
And then you kind of
ask that question. Right? What do you like?
You want to go? What do you want to go?
I know. I laugh
both.
because I know what you mean, but some people,
Well, yes,
yeah,
the double entendre.
yeah.
That's where the word fun is funny.
Yes.
What do you mean by
double
fun?
entendre of fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you can go do something, kind of feel the vibe out. If we're vibing out and it feels good and it's coming organically and you're not forcing anything, one thing leads to another. You go get drinks after the bar, whatever. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. Maybe you meet up on the second date and it happens then. But eventually, you kind of know where it's going, and you eventually know that pretty much after maybe the first couple of times you smash that, it's probably going to be done, and you're going to be okay with it because you already know, you already established this is what it is. And if it somehow you smash it that great and it becomes something more, then bet. Then it is what it is. You had fun with her. You guys are no stress, no forcing crap. You're just vibing and it just feels good. You're having fun, whatever. And it just organically kept going. Wasn't supposed to be, but it just does. That's what's called friends with benefits, people. And you go with that. And you kind of see, and it might grow into something more. Who knows?
Amen. What I got out of this convo before we do our last segment, for me personally, number one, I've been on a bad slump for 2 years. And number two, I'm so glad I realized that. I've met the wrong people for the last 2 years on this show. I'll just leave it at that. I'll answer your question, but what's up?
When he said boy, remember me and Matt were together over the weekend. I told you a story about a girl that was Russian, right?
Yeah.
And kept kind of, right? So the next night, I was with her. And I told her, let's go just do something stupid. Let's have fun, not Russian stuff. I went to go see Despicable Me 4 just to slow shit down. I almost fell asleep, whatever. She was kind of rushing it. So I dropped her off home. She wanted me to stay over. I was like, nah, because I know if I smash, I got stage 5 clinger. She was like, I got a birthday present for you. I'm like, bet. I'm like, I don't really want it, but I'm kind of have no choice but to accept it. She gives me an envelope. I'm thinking, oh, maybe it's a gift card or something or whatever.
Something small.
Right. Now, mind you, I met this girl 4 weeks ago, a month ago, like the end of May. She gives me 2 tickets to see Post Malone front row.
Oh, where?
At the Xfinity Center Theater in Hartford.
What, when?
It's
in what, October, right? September?
August 21st.
Well, I'm going to see August there too. I just don't remember.
Oh, Brian, you better come see me, Ryan.
You're going to Post Malone with
Melissa bought tickets to Post Malone, so I'm going.
No offense, you are not a Post Malone guy. I don't know. Maybe
no, I'm not.
I'd be surprised. Well,
Melissa enjoys Post Malone. Melissa's a big Post Malone.
But I got screwed at the end because I got hyped for Post Malone, and then I found out it's a country album, and I'm like,
yes, it's for the new album.
It's a country concert.
I mean, it's going to be a mix because he's going to do his old stuff too. But yes, his new album's a country album, so there's going to be a lot of country songs.
Ryan, we're going to take a picture together so we can send it to Matt.
That's fine. We could do that.
Wait, you're going to Hartford? Ryan will Ryan wasn't going to tell us he was in Connecticut.
No,
Ryan not going to tell us.
No, seriously, that was not the plan at all. It was just I didn't think it was in August. So.
I think it's August 21st because or is it August or September?
It might be September. It might be September. Because I don't think it's the summer. Because I definitely would have mentioned this summer. But September, October, I would not.
No.
Well, the funny thing is I'm seeing Post Malone the week after as well because he's going to be in New York at Central Park for a festival. So
that was probably cheaper. I wish I got tickets to that.
Yeah, it was like $1.5.
You know the thing I've also, after this specific talk too, not only it's just been a bad 2 years meeting the wrong people, but compatibility is as easy when you see it right in front of you. I'll leave it at that. Final thing to talk about: beer. And a viral tweet went on 4th of July this weekend. And first things first, when it comes to alcohol, please drink responsibly, most of all. And number two, somebody pointed out, somebody tweeted, when is it okay to start drinking beer? I'm not going to reveal the tweet right away. So when during the week do you think it's okay to start drinking beer? During the week.
During
the week?
Yes. Are you tweeted that? Are you Googling it?
No.
Oh, I thought you were typing.
That's a
I'm
trick
thinking
question.
here.
Freaking Tuesday?
No, I mean like what time of day?
Oh, what time of the day?
I would
After
say
work.
it's gotta be after work. Yeah, it's gotta be like
Uh,
7, 6, 7.
5.
6 is early. 5 is real early. I would say 7 is the right time.
Remember what Jimmy
yeah.
Buffett said? What?
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. That's right.
So
Oh, man.
he says 5 o'clock on the
Yeah,
weekday.
Jimmy Buffett locked it in on 5 o'clock all the time.
Weekend,
All
just a regular weekend. When's it okay to start drinking beer?
right, so if I'm
Friday
saying,
at 5? And keep going?
well, I was gonna say yeah. So if I'm not going 5, I'm going 7 o'clock, right?
3
Then that
o'clock.
would mean so that means on a Friday, I would still probably think it's 7. You still have work, but
Yeah, Saturday and Sunday. We'll go with this one.
Yeah, 3's. I would say 3 is fine. Maybe even 2:30, or if you have like a beer with lunch or something, go out to lunch at 1 o'clock. 1:30. You can have a beer with lunch.
3
That's
o'clock.
not
God
like
damn, we got some
drinking, but
alcoholics.
you beer with lunch. That's not alcoholic. That's just beer with
Our
lunch.
next one.
Jesus.
Weekend if football's on.
Oh, well, whenever the game starts.
2 hours before the game starts, whatever
12
that's.
o'clock.
So if it's at 12 o'clock and 10 a.m., and you get up and you're in that parking lot at 10 a.m.
Well, yeah, if you're there,
12
if
p.m.
you're at the game, physically
you
at the game, then
If
yeah,
you're
whenever.
tailgating.
Yeah,
You're
tailgate,
tailgating.
9 a.m.,
Yep.
8 a.m.
Yep.
That's fine. But if you're just watching it at home, I would say you could get your first drink in the half hour before the game or at the
Hell
earliest.
no. Because if you're the one hosting it, you probably got a bear trying to set it up and everything, get everything ready, get the grill going.
So you want it done by a half hour before, and so you grab your first beer. But I'll say that that depends on the game. So that it could be a football day. It could be literally, if the game is at noon, then yeah, it could be
12 o'clock
11:30
on the weekend. Vacationing in Europe. When can you start drinking beer?
anytime you want.
Yeah.
11 a.m.
Yeah,
4th of
anytime you want.
July.
Oh, it's the day before. Anytime you want.
Mhm.
10 a.m. At the airport.
Whenever you get through security.
6:30 in the morning.
Whenever you get through security. At whatever time you get through security, you can get
Once you get through checkpoint, you're good.
Yep.
Drink beer responsibly. Thank you so much to Ryan and Jose for an incredible, productive conversation. Thank you to Magic Mind for being our presenting sponsor. Don't forget to check out magicmind.com/PCMB for PCMB48 for a exclusive 20% off discount for your first subscription. And thank you for the energy. We will see you two at the end of this week. You'll see me again on Thursday to talk basketball with the great fresh faces. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. And let's have a good week.
See ya.